100,000 units per month. So we can calculate the annual demand by multiply the monthly demand by 12, which is 12 months. We will have the annual demand is 2,400,000 units per year. The cost is $10 per unit. The annual holding cost is 20%. It means the holding cost per unit is also 20%. So now we can calculate the holding cost per unit by multiply the annual holding cost by the cost. The holding cost per unit now will be equal to $2. The clerical cost is $500 per order. The fixed cost per shipment is $5,000 per shipment. So the fixed cost per order would be $5,500. The variable cost is 10 cents per unit. The variable cost, it doesn't affect the order quantity, but it will affect the annual cost. So the total, I make a small summary regarding to the information that the question had given us here, so it's easier for us to follow how can we calculate the total annual cost. The total annual cost equal to ordering cost plus the holding cost plus the purchased cost and plus the variable shipping cost. You can see the formula that I wrote here for the ordering cost, holding cost, purchased cost, and variable cost. And from there, you can calculate the total annual cost. So now we will start with question A. So in question A, they ask what happened if the cost increased from 10%. So the cost increase by 10%, it means it will change from $10 to $11. So the cost increased, it will affect the holding cost. The holding cost now will be equal to $2.20. So when the holding cost, holding cost change will affect the order quantity for sure. So the holding cost is the denominator. So when it increase, it will lead to the quantity order decrease. And now the quantity order decreased by 4.65%. The order quantity now 109,545 units. The original order quantity is 114,891 units. And now we will have the new total annual cost. The new annual cost increased by 9.85%. And the difference is $2,411,215. I'm sorry, I forgot to talk about this number. So to calculate the order quantity, I calculate the one inside the square root, and then I would take the square root from this number to have my order quantity result. So when the cost increased by 10%, the holding cost also increased, and the economic order quantity will decrease, and the total annual cost will increase. So we finished question A, we can go to question B. Holding rate increase. If the annual holding rate rise from 20% to 25%, what will happen? So when the annual holding rate rise from 20% to 25%, it will again affect the holding cost. The holding cost now, instead of $2, it will be $2.50. So when the holding cost change, of course, it again will affect the order quantity. The new order quantity is 102,762 unit, and it decreased by 10.56%. But our annual cost will increase slightly by 11%. The variance is 27,122. So when the holding rate increased by 10%, the order quantity will be decreased, because when the inventory cost increase, the batch size will be smaller, but the total cost will increase. So we continue with the question C. Fixed shipping cost increase. If the fixed shipping cost per order increased by 30% from 5,000 to 6,500, then the fixed cost per order now will be 7,000. It equal to the new fixed cost per shipment plus the clerical cost. What did I do here? Sorry. Okay. So now the fixed cost change. Sorry, I need to fix my. Okay, now it's come back. So fixed cost changed to 7,000, and the fixed cost is in the numerator of the order quantity. So fixed cost increase, the order quantity now will increase, and why? So when the fixed cost increase, we tend to order less, but we need to order with the large amount, so we can spread out the fixed cost. That's why the fixed cost now, instead of 114 unit, like 115,000 unit, it now is 129,615 unit, and it increased by 12.82%. And the total annual cost now will increase by 0.12%, because when the fixed cost increase, it will affect to the ordering cost and the holding cost. You can see the fixed cost here in the ordering cost, and the fixed cost change will affect to the ordering number, so it will affect the holding cost. And about the managerial challenges, so more inventory on hand, we will have higher average cycle stock, and we will have more space for the inventory, and it will increase the handling cost, and of course will increase the insurance cost. It will reduce the ability to receive and store new shipments, impact on ordering and demand monitoring processes. The labor cost may increase in sorting and managing order or shipment. And of course, when the demand changes, it also increases the obsolescence risk. So we finished question C. Now we go to the question D. variable shipping cost double, if the variable shipping cost double from 10 cent to 20 cent per unit, it's not affect the economic order quantity as I mentioned at the beginning. So the order quantity is still the same, 114,891 unit, but it will affect the total annual cost. So the ordering cost, holding cost, and purchase cost are still the same, but the variable cost will change to 480,000 from 240,000 at the beginning. So the total annual cost now changed by 0.98%. So if the variable cost order increase, it does not affect the order quantity, but it would affect the total annual cost. And the total annual cost increased by 240,000 per year. We can see. So we finished the question D. We can continue with the question E. The clerical cost decreases. If the clerical cost per order drop from $500 to $200, we will have the new fixed cost per order is 5,200. So when the clerical cost changed, it affect the fixed cost. So it will affect the order quantity. So now the order quantity will decrease by 2.77%. So the fixed cost is in the numerator of the order quantity. So when it decreases, it will lead to the order quantity also decrease. And similarly, when the cost decrease, it will make the total annual cost also decrease. Fixed cost decrease, the ordering cost and holding cost also decrease. So in summarize, we can say when clerical cost dropped by $200 per order, the fixed cost decreased, the order quantity decreased. So when the order quantity decreased, we tend to increase the number of times we order. So the recommendation is reduce the order size about 112,000 units per order. So we can reduce the average inventory, reduce the cost, and improve the cash flow. And then we can also reduce the obsolescence risk. But as the number of order decreased, the number of order will likely increase.